Over the past few months, coaches all around the world have been forced to transition to an online service model. And as a byproduct, I've been getting quite a few questions relative to software. The most common of the two are A, do I even use fitness industry specific coaching software to service clients? And B, if I do, what platform do I use? So the short answer is yes. I do use software specific to the fitness industry. Software that has been designed with the coach-client relationship in mind. Personally, I use a platform, an application called Trainerize. And although there's quite a few different platforms available offered by different companies, I have found that for me and the standards to which I service clients and the individualization of programming that I often offer for higher ticket clients, as well as the business model that I operate, Trainerize makes the most sense for me. Now, obviously you'll have to do some digging on an individual basis to determine which platforms match your service models, your service standards, and the approach you take to business, but it is crucial that you pick one. And I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why I believe you should be using fitness industry specific software. Now, it's important to clarify that there are a multitude of contributing factors considering why you would make the decision to use software. It's not just 3 specific factors, and if those 3 boxes are checked, you're good to go. If they're not, then there's no point getting software. There's hundreds of factors that are going to lead to you making that decision, but these are the ones I believe are the most impactful and the ones that led me to make the decision to go with specific software designed for our industry. The first one is data tracking and organization. Now you might be wondering, why is data tracking and organization so important? Well, here's how I see it. You would think that the client experience would be the number one thing. And to a degree, it's very important, but the client experience is going to be made best by the results they get. And in order to get results as a coach, you need to have data tracking and organization locked down. So understanding as much, this is my primary concern, how efficiently and effectively are data points tracked across the board. Not just how many workouts did somebody complete, not just did they do their habits today, but everything. Their body metrics, consider what exercises they've done in the past, consider what workouts did they do a year and a half ago, and in those workouts, what weight did they lift? How many sets did they do? How many reps did they do? What's their 5 rep max? What's their 3 rep max? What's their 1 rep max? What's the most volume they've ever done on a specific exercise? The more data points, the better, because it allows you to make better decisions moving forward from the coaching stance to ensure that they get better results. So knowing as much, I personally am not very tech savvy, and I find using general software that was designed for all industries, things like Excel or Google Docs, which are incredible pieces of software and I use for other reasons, just don't really offer what I'm looking for when it comes to working with clients. They work, but I find them to be clunky and inefficient. And I find more than anything, I'm spending more time trying to organize everything the way that makes it digestible for me as efficiently as possible. Whereas with these industry-specific pieces of software, all of that back-end work is done for you, and everything is presented in a very seamless, concise manner, so you can consume only what data points you're looking for easily. Just a couple strokes of the keyboard and a couple clicks of the mouse, and voila. There's that workout from a year and a half ago, or there's a chart showing your bench press progressions over the past year. It's all designed to pull those pieces of data as efficiently as possible. The second reason is the hub capacity. This is a game changer for efficiency of service relative to any business model you may have. So consider that when delivering all of these programs and working with all of these clients, and as your business grows, it's incredible to have so many services under the umbrella of one application. I'll list a few for you. Now, obviously, this is not an exhaustive list, So these are just a few of the things that often exist all under one umbrella. Your ability to track habits, your ability to receive payments, your ability to send and receive videos, the client's calendar so you can determine what days things should be scheduled on, chat boxes so that you can communicate with them directly in the app, photos so that they have their before and their after photos tracked all in one spot, and you can streamline them right into the calendar itself so that you can determine when they should be taken at regular intervals. Having all of this under one roof makes things much more organized and seamless, both for you as well as for the client. Now, you don't have to message them on Facebook and say, hey, send me your photos here, and then go back and upload them to a file that you can reference later. You could do that, but it's not as efficient. Having them all in one spot, and obviously backed up somewhere else is beneficial, but having them all in one spot is the most efficient way to operate and will allow you to handle many more clients at once, as well as it will keep you on track of everything instead of bouncing from this side to this side and looking for where you left the last piece of data or information, or did you talk to them on Facebook, or was it through text, or did you message them with an email, or you can keep all of your communication, all of your data, all of your information in one spot, and it's easier to navigate moving forward. And the third impactful reason is the client experience. Now this is fun as I fall out of the screen, because there's something to be said for delivering your services through an app that is custom branded to your business. I can't tell you how many clients have used this as a conversation point when they're out with friends, or when they're catching up with people they haven't seen in a while, or they're at a family event or a business event. And somehow the topic gets on fitness, usually because those clients are seeing results and they're looking so darn good. Joe, you're looking incredible. What have you been doing, man? I haven't seen you in a couple months. You look great. But working out with a coach. Let me show you though what he does. You've probably never seen anything like this. And boom, the phone comes out, and right away in line, they can open that app and they can show that individual what they do. The client experience was software designed specifically for the fitness industry, intended to make seamless the coach-client relationship, really adds to the client experience. Further, even if you're tech savvy enough to compile all that data and organize it and make charts and graphs for yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean the client has access to that, nor does it mean that they would be able to even if they did. With an application, they can also reference these charts, these graphs, with a few pushes of a button on their phone. It's very simple for them to do, and you can determine what they should have access to and what they shouldn't, and what they're able to edit and not able to edit and what may be, but that allows them to see more of what they're succeeding with. They can reference the last time they did the bench press and what weight they used, and they can see that they're actually up 2.5 pounds or 5 pounds on that exercise and that they're getting better, and they can see the graphs of their weight loss success over time. They can reference that when they need a point of motivation without having to reach out to you and say, hey, could you please get a graph together of the last 4 months of my training and let me know what I've achieved here? They have access to that information, and it's easy for them to access, which makes the experience even better on their end. Not to mention, it's a lot less clunky than them having to go through their email, find the last file you sent them for their workouts, download that, save it, possibly lose it, forget to track it. And then you have to go and harass them and say, hey, did you enter all your data into your Excel document yet? Whereas with an application, you can see right away, because if they were in the gym to work out on Monday and it's Tuesday evening and nothing's been tracked on that Monday workout, you can touch base right away and make sure that information gets sent in, versus it having to get sent to you at the end of each week without you having eyes on it until that day it gets sent in, and then realizing that they forgot to do 3 days of training. It gives you a little more insight into how they're doing over time. That, of course, contributes to the client experience because it makes it easier for you to stay on top of what you do best, and that's coaching. And by being able to do a better job coaching, you're offering better service, and the experience of that client is only going to improve. So, like I mentioned, there's a multitude of contributing factors, and the client experience alone is not limited to those factors alone either. There are many more things that make this a great experience for clients. As an aside, just off the top of my head, the fact that the videos are in line with the workouts themselves, so that client can see, they can see that exercise on video with audio overlay. They can watch it and say, aha, that's how I have to do that, if they had forgotten. They're not at home, they can't jump on the computer and pull up a workout video to see how they should be doing it. They can reference it right in line in the app, which makes it incredibly efficient. And like I said, it adds to the client experience, and there's so many other things that are contributing to that client experience. But as primary, the reason I like using software is not only the efficiency and effectiveness of the data being tracked by that software with the intent for it to be repurposed for a coach or a client, also the organization aspect and how seamless that is, as well as the hub capacity. Everything is under one roof. It's all present in one spot, which makes it a lot easier for you to organize your business and deliver a higher quality of service without looking like you're putting together all these random puzzle pieces and it's choppy and clunky and what may be. And then again, like we just touched on, the client experience is usually much greater when software specific to what you're doing is used to deliver your services. If you found this video informative, make sure you follow or subscribe, depending of course on what social media platform you're seeing this on. And as per usual, if you have any specific questions, make sure you send them my way. And if I'm able to answer, I most certainly will. And I'll cover it in an upcoming piece of content. If you happen to want any more information on Trainerize itself, I'll make sure to drop a link in the description for you so you can check that out. And in an upcoming post, expect me to touch base on exactly why I selected that app as opposed to the others.